Yeah, it's Happy Tuesday. I wanted to pop on here for a few minutes as the Justin Tucker era comes to an end in Baltimore. And I'm going to wrap up my last few minutes here on Justin Tucker. And you know what? I was wrong. I'll start off with that. I was dead wrong. I really thought he was still going to be a Raven, especially after Harbaugh's comments the other day. Not yesterday, but the day before. It just screamed that, if he gets suspended, he gets suspended. But, he's going to be kicking in January. That's just what I thought. And then I went back after and I looked at DeCosta's statement after after we were eliminated and before the allegations came out. And everything was pointing towards Justin Tucker would still be a Raven. And boom, yesterday, there it comes. So, first of all, got it wrong. Happy to be wrong. Really happy to be wrong. And here's my final thoughts on it. I did a whole pod when this came out and shared, I was pretty animated about my feelings towards it. And now that the Ravens have released them, I've gone towards the apathy stage of this. Like, I really don't care. Whatever happens to him and whether he plays for another team and whatever comes to light of the investigation really has no relevance to me anymore. There's too many things happening in the world and in my own life just to care. The reason I was so passionate about him being off the team is I don't want to spend my free time rooting for players and rooting for an organization where it can't, I just, my heart and my gut are screaming the other way, right? I think I've made this point before, and it's never to make light of any sort of, domestic violence dispute, but those require like an investigation. And if you're on the outside and you just want to read a couple of the headlines and have strong opinions, it's silly. It's naive, in those situations. You really, if you want to spend the time to investigate and then have an opinion, great. And in each situation, it's unique. People make things up. And then we have horrible people. So every situation is different. And when it's a one-on-one dispute, even if there's two allegations, maybe three, and they're people that have had romantic relationships, yeah, you got to train yourself to each situation is different and unique, and you got to give it its proper attention. This Justin Tucker situation felt from the very beginning like an obvious one. And there was two reasons. And the first one was that the women, they don't want anything from him. These allegations were from a long time ago. Why they came out now, that's up for debate and gossip. I just don't care. The allegations are there, whether it was 2 years ago or 10 years ago. That didn't matter to me. But that was the first sign where I was like, okay, this is, it's a lot of different women and they're not asking for anything. That was the first one. But then the second one and the one that really just made me angry was where it was done. And when you try to take advantage of a professional who views themselves as a healer, it is really it's too much for me to if you forgive, I just don't want to root for you. Like right in front of my face, kicking the football. Like that's how I feel about it. People have done far worse, and people are allowed to forgive. And I'm a person that always forgives. I work with little kids. You have to. It's like literally nonstop forgiving, right? And this is a big situation where but he didn't ask for forgiveness. He just went straight to the denial. And that's when it became, all right, then we can't deal with it. If there was an admission of it and tried to give some sort of an explanation, maybe there's some more grace. But once you go straight denial, and then the story is, dude, you're doing this at, professional, establishments. It's not like you're inviting them over to your home. Like it is very predatory. It's very just unforgiving, really, as a Ravens fan to want to root for you. Root for you as a person and whatever. Go get well. But man, football's supposed to bring you joy, right? All these sports are supposed to bring you joy. That's why the Orioles season has been so frustrating. Nobody wants to spend time yelling at a manager or general manager. Like that's not what most people want to do. There's, of course, some miserable people out there that enjoy it. But most of us just want to watch the game, and Tucker was going to take away from that. And so why did the Ravens do it? Why was the statement? I just don't care. You can listen to people on the radio that will spend hours trying to fill up air, talking about things that they just don't even know, right? There's so many legalities that go into this. So I don't care about the statement. I don't care why it took so long. And frankly, I don't really care what happens to him afterwards, whether another team picks him up, what the investigation leads to. I've already made up my mind based on the reporting of the Baltimore Banner. And so that's that. The Tyler Loop era officially begins, or does it? That still remains the question. He's not guaranteed to be the starter, right? He's a rookie kicker in the 6th round. So the next question is, who in the next couple of months do the Ravens bring in to compete with them? And then Tyler Loop has a perfect name. Can't get, where there's so many things we can do with Loop with field goals. So that's exciting. He's, I mentioned before, he was kicking in Arizona. So I just didn't think the Ravens were comfortable letting him kick, in the freezing cold. But we'll see. We shall see. On that front, they do save some money. We'll see exactly what they want to invest in. I'm going to do a whole breakdown on the Ravens here when the schedule comes out next week. Orioles are headed to Minnesota, and my goodness gracious, does this feel like a make or break week for Baltimore? Minnesota is 15-20. They're not great at baseball either. Minnesota thinks that Orioles fans are overreacting because they're like, hey, we had a collapse last year, except we didn't even make the playoffs. So I know you guys don't score any runs in the playoffs, but we didn't even make the playoffs. And so now we're 15-20. So it's like two miserable teams with a ton of talent, and God knows what's going to happen. Cade Povich gets to face his former team. A lot of cool things happening, and we own the Twins in the trade department. It always seems like a good vibes when you face the Twins. Nice to reminisce on how many times we've ripped them off, as Kyle Stowers is ripping the cover off the ball in Miami. Holy God almighty. Does that just add salt to the wound there? He's like, trying to be the NL MVP at the moment. Like, it's just unbelievable how great he's been. And Trevor Rogers can't get a start up here because he sucks down in Norfolk. So as the Orioles try to decide what their rotation is, they've decided Povich is pitching tonight. And as I'm recording this at 1 o'clock, they haven't decided who's pitching tomorrow or Thursday. I don't know if they can bring Trevor Rogers up because he's been so bad down there. Do they want to give Gibson another start? Well, why not? Charlie Morton can't do an opener. That didn't work out, as Keegan Aiken had the opener, and then it was Charlie Morton, and that didn't work. So who knows? We shall find out tomorrow, because they're going to have to throw somebody out there. But yeah, Trevor Rogers, I'm not giving up on him, but Kyle Stowers is on fire. So that's something for the Orioles. What else do we got? Minnesota did win 2 out of 3 against Boston. So I don't know if they're turning it around, but they're probably happy to face the Orioles the same way we're probably happy to go to Minnesota. We get the Angels this weekend. It's a short West Coast trip. So my thing is this: if they win 2 out of 3 with Minnesota, no reason why we can't get the sweep in sunny California. But if they do not win 2 out of 3 in the series, I just have a really bad feeling about everything that's going to happen as they head to California and face the terrible Angels. The vibes are terrible. They're running out of things to say. So I don't know if I'm even want to watch tonight, to be completely blunt. I just don't know if I can stomach it. I think I'm settling for the YouTube highlights in the morning and following it on my phone, because I'm putting myself in a good mood. And the Orioles, maybe I'll watch tomorrow, see what happens with Povich tonight. But all right, I want to talk NBA for a minute, because these 2 games last night were unbelievable. I may as well give myself the win in that Celtics-Knicks game. So the game goes to overtime, and I still get the push. I got kind of lucky at the end that there was no fouls, but man, the game doesn't go to. I nailed the game. I'm giving myself credit, because I was close to taking the Celtics. I'm like, no, don't do it. It's going to be a sloppy game, and then the Celtics are blowing them out, 72-52. But yeah, the Celtics showed a lot of rust, showed a lot of just bad decision making. The Knicks don't have rim protection in a way that you have to challenge it, especially when Mitchell Robinson's on the floor. Celtics set a record last night. So if you're watching, it's just really not that much fun to watch a team shoot a million 3-pointers. Like, the end of the game is great, and I love basketball, so I can get past it. But just from just from an aesthetic standpoint, just watching the best athletes in the world refuse to go to the rim. The Celtics were literally 15 for 60 yesterday with 3-point. Like, they missed 45 3-pointers. 45 3-pointers is how many they missed. So a lot of clanks at the end of the game. It's tied. Tatum settles for a long. It was a good look considering the NBA, but it's a tie game. You have to go to the rim there. They don't do that. And then the Knicks get a chance to win the game, and Brunson just blows. That's why sports are amazing, right? Once the pressure gets to you, all of a sudden, yeah, Brunson probably makes that shot 95 times, 99 times out of 100. This one rims out. And then it's the Mikal Bridges show in overtime. Mikal Bridges, amazing stat. Like he's a great role model. I'll get to the next role model in a minute, but Mikal Bridges hasn't missed a game since his sophomore or junior year of high school. Like just plays literally every game all the time. Played almost every minute of the game last night. Makes big baskets, a tip in, steals the ball from Brown. Just fantastic performance by him. I don't know. I thought the series was going to be pretty competitive. Now I'm 100% sure it's going to be competitive because the Knicks feel really good. They're going to play with house money tomorrow night in game two. So big win for the Knicks. Another wild just factoid that I saw, which is just kind of silly when you think about it, but the 76ers can't get anything right. Apparently, when they drafted Mikal Bridges, and it's not their fault they traded him for a young kid, Zaire Smith, who hasn't really panned out yet. Like, that's fine. People miss trades all the time. But at the time, Mikal Bridges, he went to Villanova, so he's a local guy, and his mom worked for the 76ers. So it's just kind of funny that they can't get anything right. He's like the perfect glue piece on any team. If you put him and he's your fourth or fifth best player, with any combination, you can win a championship. He can play the two all the way up to the four. And yeah, give the Knicks a lot of credit. Russell Westbrook, I might have accidentally said that because anyway, Russell Westbrook, the Energizer Bunny that just keeps it going. He is, every middle school, high school kid that I work with, I stress to them that you don't have to work on the Kyrie aspect of your game. Like leave the Kyrie aspect of your game and go to the Russell Westbrook aspect of your game, which is get in tremendous shape. Don't worry about having the killer crossover or the amazing move. Just if you can be in amazing shape and just have a desire to be competitive, you're going to have just a fantastic career. And Westbrook again last night just makes the perfect pass at the end, just head up. And the other thing I want to talk about with that game, with him is he hasn't been with the Thunder in how many years, and it's a playoff game. And when he comes in off the bench, the crowd is like standing ovation because you just appreciate someone that tries their absolute hardest. That game last night would make you fall in love with the NBA. The Celtics Knicks is a little more sloppy and a ton of 3-pointers. The speed and the skill that was just unbelievable. That Nuggets, I should have taken the Nuggets. I said yesterday I thought this Nuggets team is going to win this series or it's going to go 7. Like it's a good matchup for Joker. He saved all of his energy. He basically, went, like kind of turned down his motor in game 6 and 7 against the Clippers because he didn't need to. Just especially in game 7, he really didn't even have to do much. They just blew him out right away. And the Thunder, they got Hartenstein, they have Chet, but that is not the answer. He is just too big and he's too good. But yet the Thunder had him. They had him and they couldn't close it out. They gagged it at the end. And Aaron Gordon hits an amazing 3-pointer. Basketball is amazing. That game last night was ridiculous. So Nuggets win. I mean, all 3 of the road teams have won. And now the Warriors are playing the Timberwolves tonight. So the Pacers beat the Cavs, Knicks beat the Celtics, and the Nuggets beat the Thunder. But my favorite underdog out of all 4 series going into it is the Warriors. Like I like the Warriors to win this in 6. Yeah, I think it's a good matchup for them. My analysis of this series is extremely simple. The Minnesota Timberwolves got to play the old slow Lakers with no ball movement. Like literally no ball movement. Like the ball just does not move. It stays in Luka's hands until there's a trap or a pick and roll, and then it's predictable passing, and it's whether or not the Lakers are going to make 3-point shots. That's their entire offense in that series against Minnesota. It's the easiest to prepare for. Some of it is some luck, right? Hoping that guys miss shots, but it's extremely easy to prepare for. And then on the other side, you just have a defense that was terrible, no rim protection, and Luka can't guard anybody. And now you fast forward, you're going to play Golden State. Yep, they have not played since Jimmy Butler was on the Warriors, so all their games prior was before the Jimmy Butler trade. But Steph Curry does not stop moving. He is the perfect role model. You have Westbrook, I talked about, Mikal Bridges, yeah. the ultimate role model for kids is Steph Curry. The ultimate role model of how to play basketball is Steph Curry. Nonstop movement. He's going to be a nightmare. I don't know who they're going to put on him. They can start with Conley to chase him around. That's not going to work. They can't put Edwards on him because he's going to zap all of his energy. And Alexander Walker is not quick enough to guard him. They don't have DiVincenzo, I guess, is their best bet. Yeah, they don't have an answer. Whereas Houston had Amen Thompson and Fred VanVleet, two of the better guys to guard him. The Timberwolves don't have that. So the ball movement and Curry will be the antithesis of what they saw against the Lakers. Then on the other side, the Warriors are going to play hard. They're going to play fast on defense. Draymond's there, and Looney was a big, substitution for them in Game 7. And there's no reason to think he won't get some minutes to kind of offset the Rudy Gobert offensive rebound thing. So I like the Warriors, and that's that. Wanted to hop on here and give my last couple of minutes to the Tucker situation, and now we're moving on. Can't wait to talk about the Ravens. Malachi Starks puts us in prime position for me to think we're headed to the Super Bowl. It's in San Francisco. I got a good feeling about the Ravens now. So hope everybody has a good day. Hope the Orioles get on track. Maybe I'll talk myself into watching it here at the end, but yeah, I want us to win some games. Not trying to be a fair weather fan, but I can't do this negativity. It's like a month straight of nonstop negativity with the Orioles. So see if they can get it together. Have a great day. See you guys in the next couple of days.